Hi and welcome back to the show, and I'm with Franco Preo from Fresh Aire Carpet Cleaning. How are you, Franco?
I'm well, thank you very much. And how about yourself?
Oh, going well, going well. I did have a thing though on the weekend. Somebody was about to replace their carpet because somebody decided what they'd done is they had their doors in the unit, right, and they decided they'd drill a little hole to put a door stop on.
Yep, I can see where this one's going.
And the drill bit caught the carpet.
Yes.
And I love it. It was a straight line, mind you.
Oh yeah. Very nice straight line
Very nice
of a very bald piece of carpet.
Exactly. And it came to thinking, you've mentioned before in the past about Fresh Aire's ability to be able to repair carpet.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in cases like that, what we can do is actually retuff the carpet. So I'll go find a little hidden piece of carpet, sometimes under a skirting board or in a built-in robe or something of that nature, where I can scavenge one of the yarns from, yeah, and I'll clean that up, and then I can actually retuff that into the carpet. So by the time it's finished, it might be a tiny little variation because it is difficult to get 100%, but it'll be to the point where anybody who walks in the room probably wouldn't pick it.
Wow.
So we can retuff it, and it's back to the original colour, it's back to the original style, and yeah, it's not such a tragic event.
But when you retuff, do you have to stitch it by hand?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, so it can be a little bit challenging at times. A lot of times we do have to use a pair of pliers to be able to pull it through because it can get a little bit stiff. But yeah, it certainly is something that is doable.
And does it depend on the backings? I notice we've talked about carpets and they have various backings on.
Right.
Does it actually depend on the backing whether you can do this or not?
No, well, they're all going to be, in this situation, a tufted carpet. If it was an Axminster or something like that, which is a woven carpet, that's something else again. And we can't really do it so much for those ones there because they're a very different type of construction. I could go into detail for you, but I'd need the pictures and diagrams and things. So yeah, but I mean, the average carpet in the average house, you'll find that 99% of it these days are tufted carpets, so that's fine.
Right. What other types of damage do you come across that people go, oops?
Oops, okay, pets that have gone in and tried to claw themselves out of a room, or just decided that they're going to eat that bit of carpet, which has happened before. Had a dog that just liked gnawing at the carpet. Actually had one dog that liked gnawing at stone, and he actually ate through the stone floor, which is amazing. But anyway, that's another story.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard of cats getting stuck in bedrooms and decide they're going to dig them way out.
Well, that's exactly right. And sometimes it's just literally the cats that I had to go to a house where I had to do some retufting. The cat that had been in there, the tenant had a cat that just liked to claw at the carpet, and it just had lots and lots of pulls all through the place. So we had to go in and get that sorted out for them.
Is it difficult when it's been and it's not a nice straight line? I can understand a straight line. You're kind of going, okay, but an animal?
Yeah, well, an animal, if they pull the carpet, it's still going to come out in a straight line. Because it's a single yarn that's been tucked into the carpet, so wherever you pull is going to be in the line. So that's always going to be applicable. But there have been other cases we have where things you might have, the one that's really common are iron burns, where people either A, don't realise how quickly a carpet will melt, and they decide, oh, rather pull the ironing board out, I'm just going to quickly iron this down on the floor. Does happen, and all of a sudden, put your iron down and there's a burn mark, particularly on polypropylene carpet that melts at 150 degrees. Right. So it doesn't take much. I mean, you can heat set them, as we said before, just by dragging furniture across them. It gets enough heat. So an iron, it's going to absolutely and utterly melt it. So, or people just dropping it off their ironing table, ironing in the bedroom, drop it down, bang. It's instantaneous, just about.
Wow.
Yeah.
What can you do? I mean, I'm just picturing the shape of an iron now. I know I'm smiling, but I'm thinking, oh, I've ironed things on the floor before in my single days.
We won't talk about them now.
No, it is an ironing board. So how the heck do you repair something that's just physically dropped and melted the carpet?
Okay, well, in that case, we use what's called a bonded insert. So we literally have to cut that piece out and replace it with another piece. Now, the problem with that is that we need another piece of that same carpet, okay, to be able to put into there. So we would normally go chasing into a built-in robe or something of that nature where we can just scavenge a piece out that's out of sight, out of mind, and we swap them.
And put the iron in there.
I'll put the iron burn in there, or if we do have, sometimes you can actually get a piece of carpet that's going to be reasonably close, but that's really hard because by the time you've got a bit of age in there and a different batch, there are quite often variations. Yep. Even in this case, if you have one in a major traffic area that's been quite heavily worn, you pull one out of a wardrobe, There's not going to be any sun fading. There's not going to be any foot traffic over this, so it's going to look different. You do see it. That's unfortunate in those sorts of situations. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, you'll get a result that looks fantastic, and yeah, will basically gets you out of trouble, and you don't have to replace a whole carpet.
I know you were telling me one that was it a commercial, and it was quite a big patch, and you went in and went, oh my goodness, and you replaced it, and then someone else came behind you and did something, and it kind of just...
Well, that one there, in that situation there, it was quite a few years ago. There was a fellow that specialised in invisible mending, and we had a large bleached mark. And this is going back probably about 20 years ago, and we had a patch of carpet that he got called in to patch in, but it wasn't big enough to cover the mark. So he's done his patch, and with the invisible mending, fantastic, could not see it at all. And then I just came in and coloured in the balance. By the time I'd finished, no one would be any of the wires that there was any problem with that carpet.
So, and the reason I brought that one up, because I remember that story, so I can imagine someone in the house may have spilt some bleach or something like that, especially if you got the little kids around, knock something over, not that you may have kids around bleach, but accidents do happen.
Yes, that's right.
You're cleaning. So they may be worried and say, Franco, I've got this, but I haven't got enough carpet to actually do the whole thing. Is fresh air carpet cleaning, you've actually done the invisible mending stuff, haven't you, to put it in there?
At the moment, we haven't done the invisible mending. We can get someone to do it for us, but...
That's actually one of the rare things that you...
But he's also actually retiring, so he's going to be training us up to be able to do that as well. So we'll be one of the few people around that can have that ability to do it still. We can do normal bonded inserts, but he's taken it a step beyond. Okay, so yeah, that's the sort of thing that we're going to be putting ourselves up for. Wow. So that will hopefully happen within the next couple of months, and we'll be able to take it from there as well. But we still, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, and we can look at it and advise people accordingly as to what can be done and what can't be done. Sometimes it needs a bonded insert, sometimes it's needs recoloring. Sometimes it's cheaper to replace. Whichever way is the most economical is what we then advise and can organise for them. So whether it be a quick touch-up of a small bleach mark or an entire replacement, we can cover the whole lot.
You say like recolouring, I'm just thinking of the bleach mark now. Is it, I'm trying to imagine what recolouring is like. Is it like felt tip texture pens or paint brushes?
Not quite. No, so a lot of people are under the misconception that when it comes to carpets, you can just go over it with a pen or a crayon or something like that, and lo and behold, you've got a colour match. It's not paint. You can't paint over it. What you're doing is you're applying dyes to it, so you've got to mix them to the right colour to be able to achieve the colour that you want. And especially when you have, in the situation of a nylon carpet with bleach on it, bleach yellows nylon fibres. So now you have to work around that colour. You can't then just go, look, this is the original colour mix, and go, bang, put it on the carpet, but now it's going to have a yellow tinge to it. So we've got to adjust accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not quite as straightforward as that.
And because it is a dye, how do you apply dye to a carpet that's in situ? I can imagine when it goes in the mill and it goes through a wash or they spray it or whatever.
It's called patience. So we actually sit down and have a look at the carpet and judge what sort of colours may be needed to get it back to where it needs to be. Okay, and then apply the dyes accordingly. Sometimes we need to do a little bit of adjustment along the way, but that's fine. It's just we build it up to a colour that is acceptable, and then apply that to the affected area in whichever way, shape, or form we need to. Whether it be just with a dropper, or it could be with a syringe, or it could be a little airbrush, whichever the case may be. Yeah. And
is it? I suppose some people will be looking at, oh, I bet that's really expensive. But you say you actually assess it to start off with.
We've got to make it sure that it's got to be affordable. There's no point in charging someone $500 to fix a stain on a piece of carpet that's only worth $500.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that was the case, we'll say, look, you know, you've already got wear in the carpet. It's going to cost you this much to do that. In fact, by the time it got to $350, $400, I'll be saying, would you consider replacing the carpet instead? Because you get the longevity out of it. You've already got a piece of worn carpet. Is there worth the price to pay to replace it? In a rental situation, just go ahead, because obviously they want to reduce their costs. But if it was an owner, I would get them to consider a replacement. So every job's got to be judged on its own merits.